Hello, and welcome to a video overview of the Ball Engineered Hydrocarbon Magnate Chronograph Chronometer. This is a late 2011 release by Ball that was made available in 3 dial colors: the black you see here, a white dial variant, and a blue dial variant of the watch. The watch features an ETA modified movement that has the SOPROD chronograph module grafted onto it and then COSEC certified by Ball. The watch is a 2-register chronograph where on the right hand side is the second hand for the watch. The left register is the minute counter for the chronograph. The sweeping second hand is for the chronograph, and it is activated in a conventional manner using the top button. Allows us to start the chronograph and stop the chronograph, and then using the bottom button it resets and re-zeros all the registers. The watch features the new design element that quite a few of the 2011 Ball watches now have, and that is the applied indexes with the tubes embedded in them. In this case, the tubes are blue, with the exception of the 12, which is amber, and then there are also tubes in the hands which are also amber. The second hand does not have a tube because, as you can see from its resting and reset position, it would block the date window. We'll start this back up, and here the watch is easily recognizable as being part of the Magnate series. When the first photos showed seeing the polished elements of the watch, which have been a signature trait of the Magnate series within the Hydrocarbon line, had made it easily recognizable. One thing that is missing that most of the previous Magnates, actually all of the previous Magnates have had, is the Cyclops window over the date. The watch also features highly polished sides, the sides of the bracelet, the sides of the cases, all the buttons and pushers. The structure for the crown guard is also polished instead of brushed. The square elements of the bracelet are highly polished, and including the side of the clasp. The brushed elements are very deeply brushed, and probably deeper brushing than on any other Hydrocarbon series watch. The watch also features the Spacemaster type bracelet that was introduced back in 2009 with the Spacemaster series. It includes the double-sided clasp with the 2-button release. It also includes on each side the dive extensions, which fold out or can be extended out of the sides. So both sides have that. There. The watch has this signature Hydrocarbon crown guard with the push button release. This is the second generation of this, with the crown that's behind the guard instead of penetrating through like the first generation. The watch sets in a conventional manner. First position, or it's a screw down crown, and then once it's unscrewed, the first position out is wind the watch. Then 1 click out is the date. 2 clicks out is to set the time. Then push it back in and screw it in and lock the lever. And once it's screwed down and the lever's locked in place, the watch can meet its 100-meter water resistance rating. The watch has a beautiful carved train icon on the back of the case. It has the two slotted screws set up for each side of the bracelet, so it requires a screwdriver on either side to change out over. One thing that's unique on this is, according to the Ball catalog, this is the first Magnate that there is a rubber strap available for the watch. We'll try to turn it here so that you can see the various design elements. There it is from the top. Here the watch is from the side. Rotate it around. The bottom of the watch. And the side profile. Going over the watch a little bit more, the case is a 40mm case, which places it by today's standards as a mid-size or medium-sized watch. It is 41.5mm, the width of the bezel. The dial is 32mm across. In addition, so is the sapphire crystal with the AR coating on the inside. The watch is 47mm from the side to the tip of the button on the crown guard. It is 51mm lug to lug. The watch features a unique to the Magnate line, a 20mm bracelet that tapers down to an 18mm. Hello, and welcome to the video overview of the Ball Engineer Hydrocarbon Magnate Chronograph Chronometer. This is a late 2011 release by Ball that was made available in 3 dial colors. The black you see here, a white dial variant, and a blue dial variant. The watch features an ETA modified movement that has the SoProd chronograph module grafted to it, and then it is COSEC certified by Ball Watch. The watch is a 2-register chronograph setup, with the rightmost register being the actual watch second hand, the left register the minute counter for the chronograph, and then using the central second hand, which is controlled by the 2-button setup, the watch can time events using the scale on the outer edge of the bezel. The chronograph is started by pushing the uppermost button. That's also the stop for the second hand, and then utilizing the bottom button, all the registers are reset. The watch has the new for 2011 design element that Ball has incorporated in a lot of its new releases, and that is the applied indexes with the tubes in the middle. In this case, the tubes are all blue on the minute markers, with the exception of the 12, which is an amber yellow type color. The hour and minute hands also feature the tubes in the traditional hydrocarbon hand setup, and they are also colored amber yellow. The second hand does not have a tube, which, as you can see in the reset position where the watch would normally be in without the chronograph running, it would be blocking the date window. So we'll get this thing going, start the button. The dial has a few other features around it. Around each register is a circular texture pattern. The hands on the registers are red tip, which make them very easy to read, contrasting against either the black, blue, or white dials. And then they are blued on the bottom half. The watch is easily recognizable as being part of the Magnate series, primarily starting out by the highly polished outer bezel of the watch that we see here. Unlike the previous 2 Magnate models, it does not have the Cyclops, which in some cases many will applaud that not being included. It all depends on how you feel about those. The watch is also recognizable by the highly polished elements on the side, including the sides of the bracelet, the sides of the clasp, the pusher or the crown guard areas all being highly polished, and as we've shown, also the sides of the clasp. The watch has the traditional Hydrocarbon Generation 2 crown guard, which is released by pushing the button and then swinging it out of the way. The crown is a screw-down crown. Once it's unscrewed, first position is to wind the watch. Second, or one click out, is to set the date, and the 2 clicks out is to set the time. Push it all the way in, screw it in, and then latch the lever, and the watch is now set and it is water resistant rated to 200 meters. Looking at some of the design elements of the watch, here we are, side profile to look at. You can see the polished areas from the top of the watch. Notice there's really no doming. That's a very flat crystal on this watch. The side, nice medium size profile to the watch, and from the bottom. The watch also features the 2-button Space Master type bracelet where the dive extensions are on each side, as you can see, and they fold in. That's set up. The watch comes, it has 2 full links and 2 half links on each size to allow you to size the watch to your particular wrist. The back of the watch features a beautiful, let's try to get that, hold it, train icon in there. We'll try to turn it around so that you can see some of the elements of the watch, the design, various different things. Going over the dimensions of the watch is a 40 millimeter case, which would make it a mid-size watch by today's standards, or medium-sized watch. It is 41.5, the width of the bezel. The width of the case to the tip of the crown guard button is 47 millimeters. It is 51 millimeters lug to lug, and it is 15 millimeters thick, which is in line with most general chronograph watches today that are a similar thickness. So the watch is sized and wears to a medium type level. With that, we'll end our review. Thank you.